she was about 70 years old, decided that she was going to travel back to college for further education. And so at 70, she went back to college. She only finished a high school degree. So when she went back to college, she was traveling from the library one particular day. And she was sitting at a bus stop waiting for a bus to come. And a guy came along, mugged her, and tried to rape her. So I decided at that point that I would do something to make sure that no one ever would do what my grandmother experienced at 70 years old. And so that's why I'm here today. And that's why I believe in what Peace of Streets Project is doing. And I believe in you guys being here today. And with that, what I like to do is I like to make sure that every female gets pepper spray. And that's something that I believe in. I want to continue that as long as we possibly can. So what I would like to happen is, I would like all females to come up to the stage here. And I want to make sure every female gets a quick pepper spray. Ladies, please remember, when you're traveling late at night, you're going to that campus, you're traveling to work, going to your vehicle, you can have that pepper spray in your hands, ready to go. That's legal. You can have that pepper spray. So have that pepper spray in your hands, ready to go. Okay? Now also, on the back here, put a picture. I have a picture on the back because my name is Cargill, and I'm also running for Travis County Council for Precinct 2. Worst case scenario, all you need to do is show them my mug in the back of this little car here, and they'll probably run away. So, try that also. What I want to do is talk to you about protecting yourself while you're inside the home. Okay? What I like to do with my parents, because my parents are now getting up to their early ages now, and what I want to do is, I instill in them some things that they can do to keep themselves safe. One of those things is when you're approaching home, you're going home, you're leaving home, there's something that you can do, and it's park in the garage. Okay, you live in the house. Park in the garage, it's a lot safer that way. That way you get in the car, open your garage door, back out of the garage, close the garage door, it's a lot safer. Okay? When you're going home, open the garage door, drive in the garage, close the garage door, it's a lot safer that way. So that way when you're out bumbling, you're trying to get groceries out of the vehicle and stuff like that, you're really vulnerable during that time frame. But this way, it's a lot safer. Okay, so try that little tip right there. Also, another thing I just noticed in Austin, some of your builders have actually made a big, huge mistake. I go around and I talk to the different homeowners associations. What I've noticed is some of your builders, if you have French doors on your home, what they've done is they've actually put the hinges on the outside of the home in Austin. And no one's picked up on this. And I go to a lot of homeowner associations, and I've seen at least about 20, 30 of this case. The applications where the French doors and hinges are actually on the outside instead of the inside. So check your neighbors, check your family members, and verify they have French doors. Make sure they're put on properly. Okay. Also, I want to talk to you about protecting yourself inside the home with your locks. There's a system that they have out nowadays where a person can actually use this type of lock down here at the bottom. This is your common lock that's used in Austin. This lock is very easy to break into, okay? And what a person can do with a special key that they can find on the internet is very easy to break into that house. They can actually use that key, go into your home, and then use that same key and relock your door once they get it. And you know what? You're going to help. Here's how you're going to help. You're going to announce it on Facebook. You're going to put it on Twitter, LinkedIn, and also Foursquare. You're going to let them know that, hey, I'm gone. I'm away from my home. I'm on vacation for the entire week. And by the way, here's some pictures of us while we're gone. So watch what you're doing on the social networking. Announcing what I do is I'll post that stuff when I return home. I'll post those pictures afterwards, after the fact. So be aware of announcing to the entire world that you're going to be gone away from your home for an entire week. If you guys live in a two-story home, okay? Do you know that if you live in a two-story home on the second floor, if you're using your alarm system to activate, to arm the house, on your second floor, do you know it's not being monitored by the alarm system? Did you know that? You know that a person can actually, and I know I'm talking really fast because I have a short amount of time, but a person can actually get a ladder or something that you leave outside your home, climb up to the second floor home, break a window, even if you turn the alarm on, and actually get into your house where all of this stuff is on the second floor. That's probably where you keep your money, you stash your guns, and everything else on the second floor, and never set that alarm on. Okay? So put some sensors for the alarm system on the second floor as well. Now, what I use for my locks, I use a slave lock. This lock is very hard to break into. It's a very good lock to get. Okay? So I encourage you to upgrade your locks at your home, apartment, okay, to the slave lock. It's going to be, I need to look at this, I apologize. It's S-C-H-L-A-G-E, Slage. Also, you have screws on the inside of your locks. These little screws here. What I encourage you to do is I encourage you to use these little longer screws. Because they come with these short screws here. Use the longer screws. It makes it very hard for someone to kick your door. Because I have one of my employees that actually works with me every week. And he went away for Memorial Day weekend. Someone broke into his home. And he was so embarrassed he didn't want to tell me. So I finally found out it's okay. So how did they break in the home? First I asked him, did you pack, during the day, or, how did you pack the vehicle? He said, well, he packed in the driveway in the afternoon, pack in the garage, okay? It's a lot safer that way. People don't know you get ready to take a long trip. And then I asked him, I said, well, how did they gain entry into the home? He said, well, they went into the backyard. I said, oh, did you put a lock on your gate? No, lock your gate. Lock the gate, lock the fence. What I do is I put a combination lock on my gate, so if someone's going to come by my home, cut the grass and spray, they have the combination, they can get in and do that. Then I put a different lock on it when I don't want anyone in my backyard. Lock your gate. Don't make it so easy, okay, for the criminals to get into the backyard. Also, I asked him, I said, okay, well, how did they get into the home once they got into the backyard? He said, well, they forced their way to the back door. Now, what you can do is you can actually put some door stoppers on your doors. These little door stoppers here are very easy to install. That way you put them on the door, it makes it very hard for someone to get that back door. Okay, so put some door stoppers on your door as well. Where do you get those? You can get those at Home Depot and Lowe's and these more forces. So please put some door stoppers or something like that on the doors. It makes it very hard for someone to get that door in. Also, using people, that's what it's for. Don't just be so eager to open that door. If you're not comfortable opening the door, then talk through the door, talk through the window. Okay? Don't be so eager to open that door. Up in Cedar Park, a couple months ago. This happened twice, where a family at 7:30, 7:45 p.m. in the evening, someone actually knocked on the door. Someone opened the door. At 7:30, 7:45 p.m., what do you guys do? Probably getting ready for dinner or something like that. Well, 7:30, 7:45, they knocked on the door. Someone opened the door. They actually went into the home and terrorized the entire family, 2 people with tasers, stun guns. Okay? So don't be so eager to open that door. Talk through the door. If you're not comfortable, don't open the door. Okay? And please use that alarm system. If you're gonna take a trip, you're going out of town or whatever, I use my alarm system at my house religiously. So back to the guy that works for me, I asked him, I said, well, did you use your alarm system? He said, no, it was too expensive, I didn't want to pay that monthly fee and all that kind of stuff. I said, well, how much is your deductible? And you wish you had paid for the alarm system. Okay? It's going to be a lot cheaper to pay that alarm system monthly than it is to pay that deductible. Because they stole all his electronics, they stole everything. Games, everything. Gone. Because he was gone the entire weekend. So use your alarm system, lock that gate, use some door stoppers, put some longer screws on your alarms, okay, to protect yourself while you're inside the home. Guys have any other questions about that? Yes, ma'am. Right, what she said was, what people will do sometimes is they will cover up their hand over the peephole so you can't see out the peephole. So be cautious of that. Don't open the door. Okay? And it's yes, sir.
The French doors you were talking about, the hinges on the outside?
Yes, sir.
People will want to see if the pins in those hinges come out or not, because some of them do not come out.
And these come out.
Well, you know.
These definitely come out.
They're made from.
Right, they are. They put the doors on the package. Also, if you have a doggy door, be cautious of that. Because I'm telling you now, they will use a teenager to squeeze through that doggy door. It's a very common problem here in Austin. That's how they break into your home, enter in the back of the home. Because, and the reason people use the back of the home is so that way that none of your neighbors can see them from across the street. No one driving down the street will be able to see them. So that's why it's easy for them to go into the back of the home, have someone squeeze that doggy door or pick that back door. Okay, so take these few little steps to protect yourself while you're inside the home. Any other questions? All right. And don't forget this. My name is Cargill, and I'm running the Tri-State Council.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Cargill